The Kentucky Derby was last Saturday. You tweeted, quote, no matter what stories NBC hypes, horse racing is historically the most corrupt sport. If you love horses, you won't support Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, I did, and I believe that. And it really comes out of the fact that when I wrote this book, Larceny Games, I uncovered over 400 FBI investigative files that I got through the Freedom of Information Act that were directly related to this sports bribery law that was passed in 1964. And basically, it was all the FBI's investigations into fixed games or fixed boxing matches or fixed horse races. And amazingly, I mean, there was a ton of investigations into fixed horse races. And what was shocking to me was that they wouldn't just fix races to get a winner, they would fix races to get a trifecta or a superfecta. So they were fixing the top 3 or top 4 horses and the order of finish in these horse races. In fact, one FBI agent I spoke to said, who had done investigations into fixed horse races, said sometimes races were so corrupt, nobody wanted to win the race. Because one group of jockeys were holding their horses back, and the other group were holding their horses back. So it's like nobody wanted to, reach the finish line. These things were so corrupt. But what they do to the horses, unfortunately, is in the FBI files, they talk about how they electrocute the horses, how they stuff sponges up the horses' noses so they can't breathe as well. They drug them. I mean, they do all sorts of horrible things to these animals because they can't talk. And yet, this is what they do to fix these races to, get the results they want to make a few extra bucks.
Yeah, I recently had a blackjack card counter on, and he said that these guys, these card counters, are so smart at doing what they do, they inevitably move on to other things. And he told me that horse racing is one of the most wagered on sports going, and there's a lot of corruption.
Well, it's, I think, the number one wagered upon sporting event in the world is horse racing. I mean, if you want to get into sports, people sports, it's soccer, but I think overall it actually is horse racing. And after soccer, actually, amazingly enough, is tennis, which I found kind of bizarre, but that's how widespread tennis betting is, and that's why I think you've seen a lot of investigations and corruption within tennis, is because, the more money involved, it seems like the more corruption is involved. I mean, even poker, you deal with poker, and I mean, there have been accusations, obviously, of people cheating at poker in various ways, right? I mean, it's, you like to think that it's a mano-a-mano sport, poker, but then there's, table talk, there's collusion, and online poker is, I know it was at least, incredibly corrupt with all the different ways that they could fix and alter matches in the online poker world.
Some people could even see the other player's hole cards.
Yeah, exactly. That makes it pretty easy, doesn't it? I mean, you have a program that'll show you what everybody's got. I mean, heck, I could be good at it.